J.
Alright people, ¿cómo estás? And welcome back to the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Jay Real, bringing you another Friday edition of your Average Joe Sports Talk Show. Now, we have so much sports information to get to you, we just got to jump again right in. And where we're going to start on this Friday show is with Jerry Sandusky. That's right, Penn State. These folks are in a world of hurt. Now, to refresh all of your memories, if you are unfamiliar with the case or do not focus typically on sports, this guy, Jerry Sandusky, was an assistant coach to Joe Paterno, the legend, at Penn State University, and was charged and found guilty of sexual abuse of children. Now, with that said, the guy's going to spend the rest of his life in prison where he belongs. And I'm sure that the other friendly and very cordial inmates that love child molesters are going to treat him very well at that penitentiary. But moving on, this guy has caused Penn State Board to go ahead and start settling some of these lawsuits that have been, since his guilty, or since Sandusky was found guilty, I should say, these lawsuits have been popping up. As a matter of fact, totaling over a little over 30 lawsuits were filed against Penn State. Now, these lawsuits were justified. They knew this guy had issues. They knew this guy had a problem, and they swept it under the rug. Who knows how many kids would have been kept safe from this monster, this sexual predator, if someone would have had the balls to stand up and tell this guy, not at our school, not with our kids, and not with our name, their reputation. Instead, they swept it under the rug, and this guy continued on for years to prey on young, innocent boys. It's just amazing. So right now they have 30 separate cases. The board has already gone out in interviews and said they are going to take care of this swiftly and I don't want to say justly, but they are going to take care of these people the way they probably should have took care of them before all this happened. And so swiftly and fairly, they're going to settle these cases. Now, they're not going to give a total on each separate case. They will report the total amount of money that is going to be spent to settle these lawsuits, these cases. And I'm going to tell you right now, folks, you're talking millions upon millions of dollars are going to be given to settle these cases. And again, does money ever take away what happened to these kids? Their families, these boys are going to be scarred for the rest of their lives. But hopefully, with a few $1 million, they'll be able to enjoy a life that will be able to put some of that stuff way back, and they might be able to live some type of hopefully happy and normal life, being comfortable for the rest of their lives. So, with that said, the Jerry Sandusky case was just a scandal that ripped through the NCAA football world. It was just crazy to think that something like this could be happening and happen, especially at Penn State. Now, this guy, Jerry Sandusky, was charged with 45 different counts and was found guilty on 45 different counts of sexual assault or sexual abuse of a minor. So it was just an ugly, ugly stain that was put on the NCAA football programs, well, at least for Penn State. I mean, because of the way that they knew and they just covered this up. As we all know, Joe Paterno has taken a huge, huge hit in his legacy. So anyway, with that said, that is what's going on right now with Penn State. They are going to go ahead and start settling these cases, hopefully trying to move forward with the program and the school, the institution, and try to repair some of this damage by this sicko Jerry Sandusky. Again, I'm sure he's going to have a really lovely time in prison as a child sex offender. So Good luck to you there, Mr. Sandusky. Now, moving on. With this said, it is again, we talked a little bit on the last show, but we're just going to touch on it real quick because it's still every day, morning after morning, afternoons. All we keep hearing about is how the Patriots should have knew that this stuff was coming down the pipeline, that they should have known, that they should have stayed away from this guy. And Aaron Hernandez as a tight end, he was a number one pick prospect, folks. All you sports analysts and sports people that are talking so much crap about why the Patriots took Aaron Hernandez at all, or why, they should have known that this kind of behavior was coming up. That is the most stupidest, idiotic thing I think I could hear any professional sports announcer, person, whatever, talk. How in the world are you going to compare a checkered pass? How many players in the NFL have checkered pass, people? Oh my gosh, these guys are athletes, they're superstars, they are spoiled people from high school, probably junior high, because they're finely tuned athletes. They get help in school, they get teachers and school officials to help them pass their grades even when they're not doing their work. These guys have everybody looking out for them every day because they have potential to be stars. They're pampered. They are pampered. So when you say Aaron Hernandez had a checkered pass, had a clique of guys that he hung out with, that there was some problems in his past, absolutely. And I guarantee you could probably look at the past of 40% of all athletes that come out of college and they have some checkered past or some brush with the law. So to go out and say that everyone should have known in the Patriots organization that the guy would be found or get charges of murder put on him, please, that is the most insane thing. Yes, he had a checkered past. Yes, he had some friends that were very shady, but no one could anticipate that the guy was going to be out there like Al Capone murdering people. So give it a rest. The Patriots did the right thing. When they found out and he was charged, they released the guy and they took it in the backside because now they're still going to be fighting with that cap space from that huge contract of $46 million they just re-signed Aaron Hernandez for. They didn't care about the money. They cared about doing what's right. So again, all you sports people out there talking crap, give it a rest. You sound like morons. No one would have known that this guy was going to commit multi-murders if he is guilty of those. All right, we're going to leave it at that, but it's just getting very old. So moving on, not going to go to a break or anything. We have so much to cover. We just got to move on. NASCAR. NASCAR records will be broke this weekend. Sunday, at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, records are going to be broke. That's what I said. And that is Morgan Shepherd at the age of 71 years old is going to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR and give it a shot. Good luck to him. We hope he makes it through it okay. And it's pretty cool. 71-year-old guy driving NASCAR 200 plus miles an hour. Good for luck to his team. We wish him the best. Going on from there, we're just going to tap into NBA a little bit. Right now, Metta World Peace is looking for a new home. And all avenues and all inside information is leaning towards he really wants to go to the Clippers. Now, who wouldn't want to go to the Clippers? Right now, they are stacked. Their team is looking good, and they are looking to make a run at the Heat. If you add Metta World Peace, you just add an extra piece to do that. I'm not sure if they're going to go that route, but he's saying in interviews he wants and is very interested in going to the Clippers. You never know, it could happen. Also, Greg Oden is in the news again. His agents are still saying that the talks with the Heat are in progress. Now let's just look at this, folks. Would you have any doubt that Greg Oden, a number one pick, not just in the first round, the number one pick of the first round. Yeah, the guy hasn't played in like 4 or 5 years. He's been sitting on the bench collecting millions of dollars. But this guy was a blue chip player. He's a big guy. He's the big man. And if he can get healthy and figure out how to stop getting hurt, imagine what this guy would do on the Miami Heat. If they get Greg Oden on the Miami Heat for next season, you might as well chalk up the Heat to three-peat. We're just saying it right here on the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. Greg Oden is on the Heat, a three-peat. You might as well just put it in the books right now. Okay, again, we just got to keep going. We want to keep this really specific to the sports on this Friday edition. We're going to jump into the Major League Baseball. A-Rod is supposed to be sitting down with MLB officials to talk about this performance enhancement drugs and the PEDs that are going on with this clinic that shut down in Miami. Why in the world would Alex Rodriguez have anything to say to the Major League Baseball officials? If he's smart, he's going to do what every other baseball player has done over the last few weeks when they ask him to talk, because it is not forced on these baseball players to talk. They plead the fifth, they don't want to talk, and they get sent out the door, and MLB has more of nothing in their hands to use against them. So I'm pretty sure Alex Rodriguez will sit down with these officials and say, hey, I'm not talking to you guys, I'm not telling you anything. Why am I going to put myself in more trouble? Right? Makes sense. So expect for him to plead the fifth and just say nothing. Then Jeter will miss this weekend's festivities because he has a strained quad. So I'm sure he's really upset because he wanted to get out there and show his fans and be there for his fans, but unfortunately he'll be out a couple of games. And then also Yasiel Puig got snubbed for the weekend's events, but really, who cares? The guy's played 2 months. Don't get me wrong. He should have been there. He is the hottest player right now. Everyone's talking about him. You can't buy his sports cards for less than a grip of money. No one's giving anything away of this guy. He is a star right now, but time will tell if he's an all-star. We have no problem with him not getting called up and being chosen for the all-star team because, you know what, folks? He's a rookie. He has 20-plus years, if he stays in good health, to be an all-star. Why jump the gun? Let the guy perform. Let's see how he does by the end of the year. And let's see if he's such a big superstar this time next year. All right. Now we're going to wrap up this Friday's edition of the show. We hope you've all enjoyed it. We have to thank the Player Zone, right on time errand and delivery service. This Saturday, actually tomorrow, they're doing their pre-release. If you're interested, jump on in there. They are located in Ruidoso, New Mexico. You can contact them through the Player Zone Facebook, or you can go to RuidosoMidtown.com, click on the Merchants tab on the side there. It'll pull up all these different businesses in Ruidoso, find the Player Zone under Entertainment and Gaming. Bam, you click the button and you'll get right in contact with the Player Zone. They have everything from your gaming needs to comic books, sports cards, collectibles, all this cool stuff. Can't thank them enough to giving us the opportunity to talk to you about all the hot topics and all the hot takes in the sports world. Finally, wrap up UFC news, lighter news. We all were in shock that the Spider got knocked out by a no-name. I still don't even know the guy's name. And I'm not trying to disrespect the guy. He beat the best fighter in the world. Everyone was waiting for it to happen. I just personally don't believe he was a better fighter. I don't believe he is a better fighter. And I do believe that the rematch will tell the tale. So until that time, we're just going to say, Anderson Silva, get your head back, get your game back, and go out there and do what you do, which is beat up on people and dominate. And then in lighter news in the UFC, Ronda Rousey has came out saying that her breasts are a burden. Now, the only thing we're going to have to say about that here at the Average Joe Sports Talk Show is, when it comes to fighting, I'm sure breasts are a burden and can get in the way. But, Ronda, you have to be careful with what you say, because I guarantee you, if it wasn't for your breasts, you wouldn't be the huge, phenomenal success and superstar that you are today. So, be careful what you wish for, because it might take away your fame. Anyway, folks, we are going to go ahead and end the show with that note. Again, good luck to Mr. Shepard, 71 years old, trying to drive a NASCAR, driving in an oven. Man, that's going to be tough for him, but I'm sure he'll do fine. Until Tuesday's show, we're going to come back with the Magic Minute and bring results for this weekend's pre-release from the Player Zone. M14 is releasing. Don't miss it. J Real's going to say peace and much love. We will see you next week. J